All right, for my videographer, this is 1750 to 1900 part 1. 1750 to 1900 part 1. Now, guys, I've got the unit test. What? Not good. I'm still grading the essays because I'm doing it the right way. It takes me about 15 or 20 minutes for each student because I'm saying, hey, you did this right, that's good, and hey, this is wrong, don't do this anymore. You know, since I'm not in there personally, I'm going to go into great detail of how to help you on that. To make you feel a little better, I am grading a curve. I'm going to put it on a curve, and the lowest grade I'm going to give is a 60, even though some of you did make a 12. You know, I don't want to kill you here with that, but I want to sting you a little bit so the next one you realize I need to work on some things. And I'm going to tell you what you need to work on. It's all going to be in that. So I was hoping to have it back to you Monday and Tuesday. This has been a terrible weekend. So it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday before I get them to you. And I know, you know, I'm real big on getting everything back to you the next time I see you when it's fresh on your mind, but it's just some things out of my control. So I'll have that back to you Wednesday and Thursday. And with all the comments and everything else, and you'll have your grade. And I know you're waiting to see what I make. And boy, I appreciate that in you. That's what you need to have. You need to want to be successful. All right, hopefully you have the fill in the blanks for 1750 to 1900 part 1. And let's get started there. Have your pen ready. All right. Number 1, the biggest thing to happen in recent history occurred in 1700 to 1900, and that was the, oh, I know what it was. What do you think it was? The Columbia Exchange. No, that was last era, 1450 to 1750. Think what big thing that changed the whole world happened this era. Discovery of gravity? No, gravity's been around a while. Okay, I don't know. Industrial revolution. That's right, industrial revolution. Big, huge things. And AP in the past has always tried to trick you sometimes with eras. You know, they'll have one of their choices being, you know, 600, somebody, Industrial Revolution, where immediately you know that's not it. You got to know the Industrial Revolution happened 1750 to 1900. 1750 to 1900. Hey, what happened 1750 to 1900? That would be the Industrial Revolution. I think they got it. I hope so. All right, number 2, not only did industrialization change how goods were produced, and what do you call it when you use the good? What do you call it when you use the goods? What do you mean? Like the fancy word for using it. I don't know. Consumed. AP won't ever say use the goods. They'll say consume. Produced and consumed. It was also considered a good thing. Industrial Revolution was a good thing. Unlike the Spanish diseases that arrived in the New World, it was a good thing. Spanish diseases were bad. They sure were. All right, number 3. Industrialization had far-reaching effects on the what economy? European. Not only European. Global? That's right, global economy. Social relations and what? That's kind of sad. I made myself laugh with my own puppet. I'm not a puppet. Yes, you are. What is your name? I don't have a name. You don't have a name? No. We've got to name you. Yes. Hey, let's let the kids name me. Do you think we should do that? Yeah! How do we do that? Well, once we get through with the lesson, you know, business first. Right. Then we can just start writing down names and then vote on the best name. Well, okay, if Miss Fishnick wants to do that. What if she doesn't? Then we won't, because it's her show, she's doing it. Okay. So if you want to do that, let's name the puppet. Woohoo! I get a name. Yeah. Yes, you do. All right. You forgot number 3. Okay. Industrialization had far-reaching effects on the global. That's right. The global economy, social relations, and culture. Couldn't think of a way to Socratic it, could you? No, I couldn't. Culture. The Industrial Revolution changed how people were. Before the culture, what do you think the culture was before that? Farming? That's right, it was agriculture. Everything was based on agriculture. Now it's going to be based on industrialization, factories. Where are factories? On the farm? No, there's no factories on the farm. In the city? That's right. The whole culture of the planet Earth changed. That's big. You bet it's big. All right. Industrialization was very, do you think it was fast or slow? Fast. No, slow. That's right. Let's go gradual though. Gradual. That's a cool word. That's right. Even though it was called a revolution. So you got to get that. This was a slow. You think of a revolution that's happening real quick. It didn't. It was a very slow thing. Listen, you kind of turned me upside down then. Sorry. Okay. Was very gradual. Even though it's called a revolution, it unfolded over 2, what do you think? Decades? Longer than a decade. Century? That's right, 2 centuries. 2 centuries. And eventually became global. In other words, it came to America? That's right. It took a while to get here, but remember how long this unit is, 1750 to 1900. Oh. So we did become industrialized also, but it was a slow and gradual process. All right. A variety of factors led to the rise of industrial, I don't know, when you produce something. Production. That's right, production. The rise of industrial production. One being Europe's location on the, what ocean is Europe located on? And don't say Indian. And don't say Pacific. Atlantic? That's right, Atlantic. Europe's located on the Atlantic Ocean. In other words, it's saying, why was the Industrial Revolution successful? You know, there's a rule in business. There's 3 things you need to have in business. Number 1 is location, number 2 is location, number 3 is location. Location is everything. How many times throughout this year have I said, you know, it all hooks into geography, it always does. You say that a whole bunch of times. Yes, I have, because it's true. All right. Atlantic Ocean. Europe, I tell you what, let's do something. Okay. You tell them. Well, I don't know what. Make something up. Okay. Hey, one of you people, that's right, you, go up to the big map. Go ahead. Pick one person, go up to the big map. I'm waiting. Okay. Now, point to Europe. Show where Europe is. Your hand ought to be covering England, France, Spain, Germany, places like that. Just go around and around in a circle like that. Now, look how close it is to the Atlantic Ocean. Go show the Atlantic Ocean. Put your hand over to the Atlantic Ocean. There. Now, you see, it's right there. You can jump off and go to America. Or you can jump off and go down to Africa. So location was big for the Industrial Revolution. How'd I do? That was pretty good. Thank you. All right. Tell the person to come sit down. All right, everybody come sit down. You go sit down now. Thank you. Want to do the clap thing? Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Clap and boom, 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 boom. I don't think they did it. I don't know if they did or not. All right, let's move on. Europe had access to the New World and what part of Africa? What part of Africa? Well, if they're coming from Europe and they're sailing down the Atlantic, I'm going to go with West Africa for 200, Alex. That's right, West African coast through the Atlantic. They were able to collect. Now, what do you call it when you bring it out of the earth? What are the materials called that God put down here naturally? Raw
materials.
That's right, raw materials. They were able to collect raw materials from these places.
What places?
The New World in West Africa and others later on.
Wow.
I know. From these places, take it back to, now where would they take it back to?
You mean like if they collected in Africa?
That's right.
To the African factories?
There were no factories in Africa yet. The factories started, the Industrial Revolution started in England and then went from there to France and Spain because of geography. So where were these raw materials taken to?
Back to Europe?
That's right, back to Europe, to industry, create products, and then what would you do with the products?
You sell them.
That's right, then sell these products in their markets. So you had these people that they would go collect raw materials from different places, including the Americas, including Africa, West Africa. Then they would take the raw materials, what God put down there, take those back to Europe, put it in the factories, make
Bicycles, say
bicycles, make bicycles, and then they would sell the bicycles all over Europe and back to America and even in West Africa.
Did they have bicycles in West Africa?
I don't know. You're the one that said bicycles.
Okay.
All right. Another way Europe's location on the Atlantic led to industrial production was a geographical distribution of what would you have that you could use for heat?
What? Gasoline?
Well, no, gasoline hadn't been invented yet. Coal.
Coal?
Yes, coal. You can heat water with that.
Why would you heat water?
Because the early factories were steam powered. You heated water, had steam come up under pressure, and it would make stuff turn. So all the factories were steam powered, so coal was used. And Europe just, quit looking at them. And Europe just happens to have a lot of coal. God gave Europe coal.
That was my something.
Yeah. Iron. What do you use that for? Everything. Every metal begins with iron. Steel begins with iron. That's not every metal.
What, bronze? You missed that, didn't you? That's copper and tin.
That's right. Not every metal is made of iron, but that's a big one. And timber.
What's the timber used for?
What do you think? What would you use timber for? What do they need to power the factories?
Steam.
How do you get steam?
Heat water.
Can you heat water with burning wood?
Oh yeah, that'll work.
The thing is, coal's just better. Coal lasts longer, and you don't have to have near as much as you do with timber. All right, coal was, what's another word for a lot of?
A bunch of.
Let's go abundant.
Oh, that's better.
Yeah. Coal was abundant in Europe, especially Britain.
In other words, it was just already there. And that's why the Industrial Revolution started there.
That's right. England had all the raw materials. It was also used to fuel the Industrial Revolution. That's right. Letter B. Without it, there never would have been a blank revolution.
Industrial!
That's right, Industrial Revolution. Since most of the factories were run by, what were they run by?
You haven't told us yet.
Yeah, I kind of have. Coal.
Coal?
Well, yeah, but what makes the coal work?
Steam?
That's right, steam engine. And they needed something to, what do they have to do to the water to make steam?
Heat it.
That's right, to heat the water, and coal was perfect. All right, we're going to shut it down there for now. But this is part one. I'm going to come back with part two and just say,
don't forget to give me a name at the end of class when all your work is done. Work first, play later.